Hi Chetna,
Hi, Pius.
how are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Awesome.
It feels funny to ask you that and answer that since we live together.
Yeah.
But yeah,
What
but courtesies.
courtesy? Yeah, but you still even through the day you do something like that. It's normal to
Like yeah, through the day we do say hey, what's up
yeah,
to each other.
exactly. I want when we decided to start this video, I was thinking that one of the what I wanted to explore with you was you starting this YouTube channel, and you've uploaded quite a few episodes of on your own channel, and then you've started another YouTube channel where you have a podcast and you post a lot of episodes there.
And we even have a
I've
course over there on awareness.
You even have a course over there, which a significant amount of it is already posted up there, right?
Yeah, I think we will do maybe 2 or 3 more episodes and then we'll be
Yeah,
done.
but it's very robust in itself right now. Also, now I've seen as a person seeing you do this, it seems like you've done this with immense, like quite a lot of ease. It's a pretty big thing to have a YouTube channel. It's a pretty big thing to, like, you start putting edits in it also. So I think that's a good starting point for us to talk about how the YouTube channel came up and your experience of going with it. Let's start there, and then I'll ask you questions.
So I guess the focus area is ease
Yeah.
rather than necessarily.
Yeah, it's ease in doing something that's a pretty challenging task. You're publicly speaking to people, sharing thoughts. You're making presentations about your ideas and your life out there, right? So doing something that is public and like people would consider it a reasonably hard thing to do also, and you're doing it with ease. So it is that like triangle that I'm interested in.
So there are many ways to come at this answer. I will share certain ideas that are coming to me as we speak. You spoke about the way I understand the question is you spoke about the ease part of it, and then you also spoke about the fact ease, while it in its essence is perceived as a hard thing to do,
Yeah,
and then the other thing is presenting my ideas and concepts.
yeah,
So tackling the second thing first, I'm clear on the ideas that I'm presenting. So the content part of it actually doesn't take any time, doesn't take any preparation for me. It's something that I sat and I have prepared for all my life. Meaning that if I'm sitting and going to be talking about ease in the upcoming section of this conversation, then becoming ease, being in a state of flow is something that I have spent the last few years preparing myself to be like that. I have made myself like that. So, the content part of it, what it is that fills up the YouTube channel, I don't have to research. I don't have to go around looking for it. That, and you know why I'm bringing this up? Because as soon as you brought out the triangle, what came to my mind was ikigai. Ikigai is a culmination of, it's an idea that exists, it's Japanese, I guess.
yeah.
It's a culmination of three things that come together. What it is that you're good at, what it is that comes naturally to you, and what it is that you're good at and comes naturally to you, what it is that the world needs right now, and what is it that can generate wealth for you. It's not that I sat down and thought like this. I had an intuition that I need to be doing podcasts for a very long time actually. Um, since 2022, I have a note written in my notes, and I write anything that comes to me, I write it down. So I have a history of notes that I can show
Keep
and
referencing.
reference. So it said podcast number one. It was number one. There were a bunch of other business ideas because one is always one who has lived a life like I have lived, which is not very structured in the career aspect of
Yeah.
life. It's my within my mind, I made myself very structured, but in the external world, that structure hasn't started to show. And the external world gets to you, right? Eventually, you're like, oh, I was this top student, and I am by standards of society smart and young, then why am I not doing the same things others are doing? But within you, there is no calling. And as logical and as intelligent I may have proof of being, within me, I'm so intuitional that I'm unable to do something which goes against the fabric of my being. I feel all of these parts that I'm saying will culminate into the answer the answer to answering the question that you've asked. So I could never do something till it felt like the right moment to jump into it and doing. And I have been extremely blessed to have that luxury in life. I completely recognize that everybody may not have that luxury. And I have had that luxury in part thanks to you, in part thanks to some inner work that I have done that must have given me that, and in part thanks to nature for allowing me that luxury. Having said that, so 22, knew that I wanted to do podcasts, or that I had to do podcasts. It's not like I took lessons on how to do podcasts. It's not like I um, learned how to speak better on camera. Having that, as much as that intention and that intuition and that intention, I guess, brought about all the skills that were needed.
Yeah.
Now, what were the skills?
Yeah.
Right. One of the skills to do something like this is the content itself. So, like I said, I've been meditating for years. I've been and sitting right here in my Hindi podcast, exactly this spot, looking at exactly that tree. I remember saying this line, which I'm going to now say in my English podcast with you, is that I have this core principle that I have followed all my life, and it seems to have served me, which is, if you have 10 hours to cut down a tree, I will spend the first 9 hours sharpening my axe. It just seems to make sense to me. Uh, there may be some tweaking that everybody needs to do to this based on whatever they're able to do and not able to do, and what life allows them and doesn't allow them. But that bit I did. So content is out of the way now. Now,
And also what you are choosing to share is very inherently you. You're not talking about
no.
uh, current affairs, for example. You're
I
talking
don't
about
even know what the current affairs are.
yeah. You're talking about something which is that in between of the ikigai triangle that gets created, something that is you also. So the time that you've spent on it has, I would say, is clarity. One of the things also that emerged from that, and that makes it very easy for you to share what you're sharing. And it's
Yeah.
something that you've done for yourself. It's not taking things from other places,
No.
because it's inherently you.
It may be taking things from other places, because nothing unoriginal exists in this world, but it is me. I mean, it is only because I have applied it to my life
Yeah.
that I'm sharing it. I'm
Yeah.
never sharing anything that I haven't already applied to my life first.
Yeah.
So that's what makes it inherently me.
Yeah.
But ikigai, for example, is not my concept. It exists in the world. But I did not read a book and say, let me now find my ikigai. I guess, so now coming back to the part of it being easy. We addressed the second question. Now coming to the part of it being easy, it was easy, or it looks easy, because one thing that I've realized in life is that we cannot force anything. Nothing can be forced. Anything that is forced is fake. Anything that you force, you're only using your time and energy in trying to make something happen. You are spending valuable energy, valuable time, trying to bang your head against a wall when that same task can be done simply. And the only reason you are doing this is because you are using your head too much. You are too much in your head. You need to bring your energy from your head into your body, because your body has wisdom that your head does not. Your head is filled with ideas and concepts that aren't real. Your head is really filled with ideas and concepts that are baseless. It's like having castles in air. People, I feel, in today's world are always trying to do things from their mind. They're always trying to go around and do something because of a reason. I'm also doing this for a reason. My reason being that I look around me and I see the need for something like this being shared. Um, I see there is a general sense of anxiety all around us. I see that the things that have helped me when I speak to individuals, whether they are my clients or friends, really help them when they apply it to their life. And when I observe this deeply, I realize that this is something that can actually help people. So, coming back to Ikigai, something that is easy for me and I'm good at, and also helps people.
Yeah.
This
Like
is
in,
value that I provide to the world. Yeah.
yeah, like in some way, there's a, like, you were, you got a lot of, I would say, like maybe starting points from YouTube also, in other people sharing their journeys and people sharing their ideas on the internet.
Starting points?
Like, your spiritual journey came from Sadhguru also at some point of time decided that, hey, I went through some experience and I'm going to share that on the
Yeah.
internet.
You know what? He talks about ease a lot. He talks about not taking yourself seriously a lot.
Yeah.
So, um, I feel like there's this constant nagging that I'm feeling from within that, oh, I'm not answering your question, I'm not answering your question. But really, I am answering your question.
You are, yeah.
And that in itself shows, right? I'm taking myself too seriously. I'm wanting to be presenting myself in a certain way. These are ideas that come to all of us. These are, I also listen to Muji Baba, who is a great master of, he's a great Advait teacher. And Muji Baba talks about personhood. So, the personhood, the identity, the ego that we have created that constantly creeps in and wants to um, tell us to be a certain way or to not be a certain way and this way and that way. And in one of the videos, and he's a great Advaitian master, and in one of the videos, he said that even I have to remind myself that that is not me and this is me. So the sense of nagging that I'm getting, and it's a practice. It's a practice to rise above your mind constantly. And there are ways to do that. And which way will apply to whom, when, and where will depend on that person. And that is why the work that I like to do, this work I'm doing because I also realized at a point that I was getting too proud, to be honest, of the impact that I was having on people. And I felt that that was weighing me down. So I said that, okay, I'm going to give out everything that helps me make my money, all my secrets for free on YouTube. Right? So again, I'm feeding the intention here as I share these things. Understand that why it takes me a little bit of why my points are not like a presentation that you would make in your office is because it is not a strategy that was thought out and then implemented thuk thuk thuk.
Yeah.
It is something that was done in the flow of life, and then as it was done in the flow of life, now I'm relaxing and talking about it and putting a certain model around it so that maybe you can find some use of it.
Yeah. No, and I
But
really
understand that
appreciate
it is custom to you. This is
Yeah.
custom to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
I really appreciate that aspect. There's an emergence that happens, and then you find yourself that, okay, these are the things that did work for me. My intention in some way was to, and I think all successful people are like that in a way. They're they do things that they accept themselves and do things that work for them, and then they look back and they're like, okay, this could be made. Because I find you talking in a very structured manner often. This format is actually meant for exactly this sort of conversation. Podcasts are more like laid back things that people are hearing also in that laid back way. And so when you are connecting dots, they kind of get connected through the thing. Like, you answer the question without
But you answer
making
the
a
question,
presentation
yeah,
about
but
it.
you answer the question in your own way, with your own ease, in your
Yeah.
own style.
Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense. Right. So, like, these are things that nag at me also. And why I'm, being so raw and vulnerable in sharing this is because you're seeing a certain outside result and saying, "Oh, Chetna, but it looks so easy for you." And yes, it is. It is relatively easy for me. But you know what? It's easy because I don't do it when it's hard. Understand? Um, I don't know why all these quotes are coming. It's not like I sit down and think about these quotes and then I inspire myself and then I do it. But these quotes are coming. Maybe it makes things relevant for people. I heard Steve Jobs talk about something which stayed with me, um, which is he said that what makes a good product is not knowing what features to keep in the product, but knowing what features to remove in a product. So I also live in this world. Understand? I'm not, I am spiritual and I am a yogi and I live my life in a way which is different from most people that I see around me, and oftentimes even very different from you. Within living
Very
in the
much.
same house, very different from you. But I do get affected by my environment. I'm not larger than my environment. Not yet, at least. And I don't believe that will ever be the case, because nature is always going to be bigger than the single individual, right? I get affected by it, but I don't give in to that effect that comes upon me. I can struggle with it, I can cry about it. I see over time I get better and better and better at handling things that would take me maybe a month to get over, big life things, or 6 months to get over. Now, something of that level would take me an hour to get over, right? So, one gets better and better at life. I remember hearing somebody say something and also sharing the same thing with my friend this morning, is that if you are used to juggling 3 balls and now suddenly you start to juggle 4 balls, you may be really bad at juggling 4 balls. But now when you put down those 4 balls and you start to juggle 3 balls, you're going to be much better at juggling these 3 balls,
Yeah.
right? So life is like that. Even I struggle. I am sure even Sadhguru struggles. But what is your relationship with your struggle? And what are some basic foundational ideas that you have understood about your observance of life? Rather than every day waking up and struggling with life, have you infused your life with a certain amount of awareness? Because the beauty of infusing your life with awareness is you tend to not make the same mistake more than once or twice. The moment of observing that, oh, I have these mental patterns, I do things this way, and this doesn't serve my highest good, or this doesn't do me any good. Forget highest good, because highest good is really high. There is a song that I listen to a lot by Rishabh Sharma, I think. He says, Shankar Sankat Harna, that song, Shiv Kailasho Wale. And then there is a line in it which says, Tere Kailasho ka ant na aaya. So highest is there is no highest. Nobody reaches the highest. It's an ever expanding universe that we live in. But you will feel fulfilled when you have given it your best, outside of the outcome. So yes, you're sitting and asking me questions about YouTube, but what? How many subscribers do I have at this point? 43 or something like that last time I checked. Here and on my Hindi podcast, around half of that. So that's another thing, detachment from the outcome. I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm not going to be a fancy editor when I have a lot of followers. I'm going to do my best editing now when maybe one person is watching the video. I am going to learn about YouTube, or I'm going to be interested and ask questions. I'm going to be open to critical feedback right now. Not once I have achieved something. Right now. I show my videos to people. I do this work as if God knows how many lakhs and millions of rupees I'm generating from this business every month. I'm not. I'm generating nothing. I'm only pouring money into it. But that is one of the other reasons. That is one of the other things that makes it look professional to whoever is the little audience. And I don't know the outcome. I don't know if it will ever take off. I don't know. When I started it, I said if I can help one person. Anytime, whatever I do, I say if I can help one person, there is value. And I realize that anything that I do helps me. So it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. Every time I do anything, if I can help one person, it's worth it. And anytime I do anything, one person is helped, that is me, for sure. So this is not just applicable to me, this is applicable to everybody. So do whatever you do with your honesty, and do things that are authentic to you. So we begin with that. If you were to wrap up this answer in some way, do things that are authentically you. Don't start a YouTube channel because, oh, Chetna started a YouTube channel, how hard can it be? She's to not, I have to been working at YouTube for so many years, she's to not even had a job. Don't start a YouTube channel for reasons like this. And this is one example. You know what I'm talking about here, right? Because you've done stuff like that in your life. I surely have, so I know. Don't do something because somebody else is doing it. Does it work within you? Does it feel aligned within you?
Yeah. Your ikigai is your personal ikigai.
Yeah, it's your ikigai.
Yeah.
But don't get trapped into these. Don't read books on ikigai. You can read a book. No harm in that. I must have flipped through some pages or must have watched some video for 2 to 3 minutes to be able to say that ikigai has these, right? What happens is, we listen to somebody talk about ikigai, like you're probably listening to me talk about ikigai, and you think, oh, Chetna must have read ikigai, that's why she found her ikigai. No, Chetna never read ikigai. Chetna didn't do anything like that, right? When people achieve something, they don't know how to talk about it, so they use words and languages and models that currently exist to sort of tie things up. Don't get lost when you listen to somebody. Try to not get lost in the bheed of the conversation. Don't get lost in the heavy content. Try and pick up the simple things that are attracting you, and see, instead of making it a mental exercise alone, right? Another reason why everything that I do looks easy to you is because my planning stage and my execution stage are different. I understand that I must plan to get my mind going, to get my juices flowing, to get myself excited about it. But I must understand that when it comes, and this works for me. Maybe you're a planner and only if you follow dot to dot to dot your plan, that's when you can do something. Again, it's personal to you. But for me, non-planning makes me not do something. But planning and needing to stick to the plan makes me bored of it. This is what I realized about myself. Again, awareness. You've got to know yourself, which is what is the basis of all ease. Knowing yourself is the basis of all ease. And spend some time knowing yourself, and I realized that for me, planning and execution, when they're kept as two separate ideas, planning, when it is kept as reference point, like when I used to go and talk on the stage in school a lot, or I've made presentations in my event management days, I used to prepare, but I used to never look at the sheet that I prepared when I was presenting. And very often I realized that I would actually go completely off script, and whatever I said was always far better than what I had prepared. So this is a habit that I've observed in my work. So there's stuff that you have observed in your own work style where you have thrived. Use that to your advantage whenever you're doing something new, right? Whenever you're scratching out something old, when you're no more in the same relationship that you were in, when you're no more doing the same job you're doing, you don't have to completely reject the whole idea. You bring from that what worked, and you let go or transmute what didn't work. Right? This is another way to think about life. Individually, all of these things that I'm saying are heavy things, right? Because it has taken me years to develop these, and I'm like bubbling with this and ready to share. So on that note, I also want to plug in my Instagram live over here, because while in my podcast, it will always be content heavy, because you're asking me a question and I'm answering that question from like 50 points of attraction from where I stand, right? 50 viewpoints of perspective from where I stand. But in reality, for you to understand them, we need to go deeper into each point. And that's where the Instagram live comes. So we take up any one random point from this podcast, and these lives are going to happen every Saturday at 8:30 a.m. We take up individual points from these podcasts, within these content heavy podcasts, and we go deeper into it. and we answer questions that people have about it.
After like possibly watching, like when you were saying all of these things also, I was like, I have so many follow-ups for so many individual points. I was like, okay, that's why the live makes so much sense then.
Yeah.
So this becomes something that people can watch or not watch, and then you're anyway going to share some of these ideas in depth over there.
Yeah.
And a conversation can happen at that point.
But understand, it goes hand in hand. When you ever want to understand somebody else, you have to try to give them some time. Don't watch one video of Sadhguru, one video of Tony Robbins, one video of Muji, one video of XYZ, and then say, oh, I am spiritual, I got it. You've not got anything. Because everybody uses their own language. Everybody develops their own. Anybody that starts to share like this has first done it within themselves. Only then do they come back and start to share. But when they did it within themselves, they followed a certain path and they did a lot of trial and error. Unless you've just sat with a guru and taken one-on-one learning from a guru, which is what Vedant is, if you've done that, that's different. Then go study Vedant from a certified school of Vedant. That's different. But if you're trying to like live your day-to-day life and in that flow you're trying to learn from somebody, then understand, watch a lot of their content. That's when you will start to understand their lingo, their language. When Muji says personhood, somebody else calls it ego. Sadhguru doesn't even like to give it any names. He says it's all integrated, all one. So everybody talks differently, but everybody is saying the same thing. So how will you know? You focus on one person and watch a lot of what that one person is saying. And get into that universe for a bit till you're enjoying what that universe is about, and understand how that person is trying to tie it all together. So if you were to talk about me, watch this video, come to my Instagram live. If you can't come to this one, come to whichever one you can. You can ask any question at any time. And watch the other stuff that I have done, and if you still then and then you feel a calling that, oh, this person can help me get from where I am to where I want to be, then work with me one-on-one also. Because yes, I want to give away my stuff for free, but I still have my classes going on and my sessions going on. And the reason is that ultimately, how much can I generalize stuff when you are so unique, right? And if you look at my Hindi podcast, if you understand Hindi, watch stuff over there also. Because there is a whole episode on being unique. You are so unique. So that either you can solve your life, or somebody who has, let's say you want to go to a mountain range where nobody is, which is not common. You have to go ask somebody who's gone to that range, right?
Hey, so I'm editing the video and post this point. We have some sound issues, so I will not post any of the remaining 2 minutes of the video. But I think we had a great episode on ease. Watch the episode, come with your questions to my Instagram live, which is going to be every Saturday at 8:30 a.m. For now, we're going to use Insta live. But as our community grows, it's going to become also a closed circle where not only do we connect in that way, but have a community that can regularly support each other. So come be a part of a community which is about love, which is about support, which is about kindness, which is about growing, healing, evolving together. And yeah, that's about it. I'm just going to add this bit and I'm going to upload this video on YouTube. I hope you check it out and I hope you liked it. Please comment, like, subscribe, all the stuff that everybody says, because it does help us. Thank you. Bye.